Yeah, we're back. Yeah, it's really cool, Kami. That was, I think Darkstar mentioned that a little bit earlier. It's the Final Fantasy XII, the tactics guy, right? Laurie, have you played Mass Effect before? These are among my favorite games. Mass Effect has what is decidedly my favorite setting in a video game. It might actually just be my favorite fictional setting. Like, I don't know if you've ever played a game or watched a movie or read a book where you're like, wow, this is made for me. Like, this does everything for me. It's an RPG in a realistic sci-fi setting. Or an attempt to, bordering more on the side of realism. There's still some unobtainium, hand-wavy sci-fi mumbo-jumbo, but I think they make a really good effort. I like Star Trek a lot, but Star Trek has this, how would I put it? It's very optimistic, which is fine. I guess it's like, Star Trek is like the West Wing. West Wing is a TV show that has a very optimistic view of politics. And I really like the West Wing, and it's great, but it's kind of cool to get into more nitty-gritty, realistic view of the future. And like the what if we're in this post-scarcity society, what kind of issues do we grapple with that you get from Star Trek? So I don't remember if there actually is a decision in Lair of the Shadow Broker. Might be able to do a squad mate member selection here. We'll see. That's the most I can think of, though. Done just about everything else in Ilium. We did a day that we devoted to wrapping up the Citadel side quests.
No, you don't understand. I lost it somewhere near the transport terminal. Pardon me, I'm dealing with damn Ilium travel bureaucracy.
Were you trying to get them to help you find this locket?
Oh, Stephen, thank you. Thank you so much. My daughter was young when he died. This is the only memento she has of him. Please accept this. It's much less than I would have had to pay the bureaucrats to authorize a search.
And they wouldn't have found it because I had it on me. Cloud Reaver. Okay, I'll go ahead and have a vote for which squad mate we bring with us then. Start queuing that up during the next discussion here.
Shepard, it's good to see you again. Thank you for getting me that system data. Here, it's not much, but hopefully it will help you on your mission. Do you remember the Shadow Broker? With the data you got me, I may be able to find information caches from his agents.
I've got a lot on my plate. Remind me who the Shadow Broker is.
He's the most powerful and dangerous information broker in the galaxy. No one knows who he is. Given his resources, there's speculation he may actually be a group operating under one name.
Are you on the run from the Shadow Broker? I can help you.
Actually, it would be more accurate to say that the Shadow Broker is on the run from me. We crossed paths not long after you died. Since then, I've been working to take him down. With this data, I'm a step closer.
You can't come with me because you're after the Shadow Broker? What if I help you find him?
I'm sorry, Shepard. The galaxy doesn't work that way. I need to find leads, trace information. I need to work. I can't do that on the Normandy. I wish I
All right,
could.
I have a. I've got a poll open here on stream. You can vote for who we're going to bring with us on this mission.
Let me know if there's anything else I can do.
Thanks, Shepard. I will. Now, is there anything else I can help you with?
I know you're looking for the Shadow Broker. Cerberus gave me data on where to find him. Interested?
Absolutely. I had no idea. Let me see what you've got. It looks like a leaked transmission between Shadow Broker operatives. Some hints as to the location and... It's about Farron. He's still alive.
So this whole thing with Liara and Farron was mostly handled in a, I think it was webcomics. They released a comic series for Mass Effect that was about Liara going on adventures with this Drell character named Farron. It's worth a read. I think I read it before I did this DLC. If you want to look into it, just Google like Liara Farron comic, and you should be able to read it. Yeah, Cloud Reaver. That's the one thing I think that strikes me the most as being kind of annoying between Mass Effect 1 and 2. Like, they didn't want Liara to be in your party because I think they wanted her to be around in Mass Effect 3, so they had to write her something to do. And saying, oh, archaeology is a natural, like, intrigue is just like being at a dig site. Like, are you serious? Those are, like, the two most opposite things that I can imagine. Anyway, we'll get back to the game. If you wanted to vote for which person we bring with us, you can vote 1 Zaid, 2 Kasumi, 3 Miranda, 4 Garrus, 5 Tali, 6 Grunt, 7 Morden, 8 Thane, 9 Morinth, and 10 Jack. You can add a number of SIR points you want to spend on top of it if you want to.
Who's Farron?
He was a friend. He helped me recover your body from the Shadow Broker.
Why did the Shadow Broker want my corpse?
He was going to sell you to the Collectors, but Farron and I stopped him. Farron sacrificed himself to save me.
So, you rescued me. Then how did I end up with Cerberus?
Well, they gave me intel to help recover you. They actually put Farron with me in the first place. After I got out, I gave you to them. They said they could bring you back.
You kept me out of the Collector's hands. Without you, I couldn't have come back. Thank you.
I didn't know how you'd feel when Cerberus restored you. If you'd feel betrayed, or... They brought you back. And now they're giving me a chance to find Farron. After 2 years. I hadn't even dreamed.
Sounds like you and Farron were close.
It's funny. He betrayed me more than once. He was double-dealing for Cerberus, for the Shadow Broker. But in the end, he sacrificed himself for me. I owe him.
Right now, the vote for who we bring with us is tied between Kasumi and Garrus. You want to throw your vote in there, type exclamation point vote followed by the number. You can look for what Peek posted in chat there. 1 for Zaid through 10 for Jack.
Any friend of yours is a friend of mine. What's the next step?
I don't know. I need to prepare, to think. I'm going home. Use my terminal if you need any local intel.
You okay?
I've spent 2 years plotting revenge. Now I have the chance to make it a rescue.
Let me help. I'll come by your apartment.
Okay. Hopefully I'll have a plan by then. Thank you, Shepard.
If you did romance Liara in Mass Effect 1, this DLC gives you a lot of extra scenes with her. Kind of nice. Look at how this intel works. Maybe it's extra side quests or something and you come back later.
Entertainment would like to respond to complaints about our upcoming film, Blast of the Jellyfish Stings.
Hold on, this news report gets referenced again in Mass Effect 3. It's sort of like the Elcor Hamlet in Mass Effect 1. They're talking about Blasto the Jellyfish Stings, a movie about a crime pulp movie about a Hanar Spectre. The Hanar are the floating jellyfish-looking creatures.
Association claims that our portrayal of Blasto insults Hanar society, going so far as to cause exploitation. Ilium Entertainment stand by our product.
Listen. The Sanadantius didn't give us time to pack.
We hope that you, the viewer,
What is it? I'm in the middle of an important call.
I overheard you talking. Is this the data you're looking for?
The Corrosa Generational Archive. You found it. Thank you. My whole family has been worried. That data is irreplaceable. I didn't think I'd get it back from the
why does
Silent
this matter?
corporate building.
Why is this data so important anyway?
It's a genetic history for the entire Corrosa family. It's used for high-level reproductive negotiations. It would be like a human pedigree, I suppose. Without it, you're bargaining from a greatly weakened position. Losing this would have hurt my family for generations, maybe even
So the
destroy it.
Solarians are unique
There's your data.
in that they
Hope it
don't
helps
mate
your
for
family.
love, they mate
You have no
exclusively
idea,
for
Hugo.
reproduction.
I
And
don't
they
know
have
who
these
you
like
are, how you got it, but
complex
thank you.
contracts associated
Here,
with
for your
it.
trouble. Blessings be upon you. You've certainly blessed us.
So it looks like it's a tie between Garrus and Kasumi. If there aren't any other votes, I'll go ahead and tie break.
Employees only to lose them to your competitors? Perhaps Indentutech can help. The provider of cutting-edge indenture
For example, you know that new drug, the one that causes permanent neural scarring? That's horrible. There's a 12-page contract for shipping, then a waiver for use.
They should be prohibited from breeding.
What was your father again?
They're talking about purebloods.
So, you probably never really got to know him, did you?
She mentions that because Solarians are very short-lived. They live to be like 40 at the oldest. I think Morden,
Listen, give Thax a
who's in your
full
party,
refund,
is
you
like
hear me?
nearing 40.
No,
He's
I
very,
don't
very
know
old for
how.
a
It
Solarian.
doesn't matter. Credit him a full refund now, and then get your ass someplace safe. Leave me alone. I can't talk to anybody.
You save real quick. Do we get to bring a squad mate even? Or is it just me and Liara? I think we get to bring somebody. Alright, I'm gonna set off the timer to close out the vote. 1 vote for Garrus, 1 vote for Kasumi. I will tie break if no one comes in with another vote. You can spend sphere points on your vote if you want to by adding them after the vote number. So you can do like vote 1, 10 to spend 10 sphere points. Alright, so tie break, coin flip. Heads we take Garrus, tails we take Kasumi. Tails, it's Kasumi. So it says I can take both, so we'll just do both. I think at some point it's going to boot one. Increases damage. That's pretty great. Reset the cooldown by 80% if it kills them. Yes, please.
Seal off those trace samples and get them back to the lab.
We got multiple shots fired. Yeah, techs are going over the place now.
Central, we got an open carrier on this end. Switching to a coded relay.
What's going on?
This area is sealed off. Please step back, ma'am.
Sealed off? Why?
Someone tried to kill your friend, Commander Shepard.
Hey, it's a Spectre.
Thank you, officer. Your people are dismissed.
She also shows up in some of the books and
You
comic
can't
books.
do that.
Already done.
Don't get to see very many Spectres in the series. Like they remembered, oh yeah, we should probably have some Spectres hanging out.
Tela Vasir, Special Tactics and Recon.
A Spectre?
I heard your status was reinstated. Good. You're one of our most famous operatives. Might even get you to sign my chest plate. So, I assume you had business with your friend this evening, Commander.
Liara was following a lead on the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
She only made that comment because we went ahead and did the reinstatement mission in the Citadel.
What are the facts so far?
About 25 minutes ago, someone took a shot at Tisoni. Note the bullet holes. She stuck around for almost 4 minutes before leaving the building. Whatever she was doing was important.
If Liara isn't here, where is she?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be sifting through her crap. There's no blood, no body. It looks like Tisoni got away. The sniper didn't plan on her kinetic barrier. Clever girl. Paranoid, but clever.
Did the police find anything when they arrived?
Just the mess and the bullet holes. I gave them a gold star for finding the bullet holes.
Liara was expecting me. She would have left a message here. Her office wasn't safe.
I'm not surprised. Ilium is just Omega with expensive shoes. I haven't found anything useful for tracking her down yet. You knew Tisoni better than I do. Where would she have hidden her backups?
Let me take a look around.
I want her armor. Really cool looking.
Don't worry, Commander. We'll find her.
Hey, there's some N7 armor here.
It's part of my old armor.
Looks like someone didn't like you much either. Rifle used to do that wasn't standard issue. The kinetic barrier deflected the shots, but they still managed to penetrate the glass. A doctor from the University of Ceres, Alessia. She's getting good use out of all that education.
Thessia is the Asari homeworld. You guys just gonna chill back here? That's cool.
That's not the Asari homeworld. I'm not sure what planet that is.
It's Ilos.
I feel like that's a Last Crusade reference when they're like in the catacombs in Rome or Venice. It's like it's the Ark of the Covenant. Are you sure? Pretty sure. It was a good mission to make references to that.
The picture changed when you touched it. It must be keyed
That's
to your
clever.
ID. What does it show now?
It's a Prothean dig site. Liara did leave a message.
There are a few Prothean-looking objects around the apartment. Let's see what we can find. Those things must be worth a fortune.
I didn't do it, Sean Connery. That was Elsa. Are you sure? Remember, Sean Connery doesn't go in the catacombs with him because there are rats. Big ones. Ratch.
Certainly into ugly.
Sean Connery is goose-stepping morons like yourselves to try reading books instead of banning them.
Vasir, I've got something here.
Backup disk. Let's try it on her turn.
If I just sit down and think, the solution presents itself.
It looks like she recorded a call.
What have you got for me, Sagat?
It was tricky, but you paid for the best. I can narrow it down to a cluster, maybe even a system.
How soon can you have it?
Shouldn't take long. Come to my office. Area Frontiers in the Dracon Trade Center. Gotta say though, Tisoni, you're making me a little nervous. How big is the trouble that could come out of this?
Relax, Sagat. I'll see you in a few hours.
This must be important. The Shadow Broker's people already tried to kill her once.
I know where the Dracon Trade Center is. My car's outside.
Let's go.
Right, Cloud River? Those things in here don't react well to bullets.
The Barry of Frontiers offices are located on the 3rd floor. I don't hear police chatter. We must have missed the party.
So many great Connery lines in that movie.
Liara's in there!
What happened at 11 o'clock? 10, 12, 11. 11 o'clock. Fire.
That can't be good.
Oh, they gave them some voice acting. Right on.
They just took out 3 floors to make sure she's dead.
That or they
I'll grab
reused
this
some
front
from
door and
earlier
seal off
parts of the
building
game.
from the top.
I'll
start down here and work my
In
way
Overlord,
up.
they didn't get
Just
any
leave
extra
some for
squad
me.
mate voice acting, so they had to like hang a lampshade on it by having characters just refer to them in the distance.
What happened?
Suddenly I remember my Charlemagne. My armies be the rocks and the trees, birds in the sky. Trade Trade Center.
Was it a bomb? What happened?
Here we go.
Barrier Frontier employee. Looks like he got caught in the explosion.
I wouldn't take any bets on Sony's
All right.
performance surviving that blast.
Getting credits, getting paid.
Vasir, the elevators are out and building security is down.
No alarms, no police. Very professional.
Let's say. Not very clean. Place is kind of blown up. Flash me.
Set the bombs, killing everyone.
Casualty here. Looks like he's got bullet wounds. Watch yourself, Vasir. They used military-grade hardware.
Bullet wounds. Guess this was more than just an explosion.
This is a pretty cool mission. It's multi-stage too. I think it's worth it's like maybe $5 when it got released. I felt that BioWare did a pretty good job with their DLC. Zaid was a little disappointing because it was day one DLC. It was part of EA's initiative to like brute force people into buying the game new instead of buying a used copy. Which, I mean, in retrospect, I kind of get. It's kind of frustrating for a developer that, you know, someone can buy the game, play it, and then just trade it in. Someone else can get it at a huge discount with no profit going to the developer themselves for the later sales of the title. I guess you've had that with books for a really long time, but...
Vasir, I found a military-grade explosive device. It hasn't been armed.
Sloppy work. You use that kind of hardware when you don't have time to plan.
There's so many more people involved in making games than there are in movies and books. Movies are almost comparable. That it hurts them a lot more.
Vasir, I'm at the Barrier Frontiers office. Liara signed in just a few minutes ago.
Understood, Commander.
Oh. Good to know.
Vasir! I'm pinned down! Mark!
Private Army.
Shadow Broker is kind of a... I'm curious to know if this was their original intent, like Drew Carpenter's original plan with the Shadow Broker, or they changed their mind in Mass Effect 2. Was it intentionally left as an open thread in Mass Effect 1? I was going to save them all for one big block, Cloud Reaver. Maybe I'll do it off regular stream hours, because the last time I did it, I just watched my viewer count tank. And at the time I was like, too bad, this is what I like about Mass Effect. But maybe I'll do it like at the end of a stream, after we beat it, but before we do the post-ending DLC mission. I'll set aside like an hour or so to go through all of them and discuss them. I'll go ahead and block it out, but we'll do it from like 6 to 7 or 6 to 7:30 or something. That way I'm not breaking up the action at all. Just do lore day, basically. Oh, cool. That'll make it easier for her then. She can just tune in or watch the one YouTube video to see all the lore. It's tough in Mass Effect 2 as well, because it carries over all the codex entries from Mass Effect 1, but it doesn't tell you whether it came from Mass Effect 1 or not, so you just have to remember the stuff you've already read so as not to do all of it again. I guess if I do it as like a dedicated, let's just read the codex day, like I plan to do with Dragon Age Inquisition toward the end game, I can just go through all of them and not just do the Mass Effect 1 ones and then load it to YouTube as a Mass Effect codex review. But I think that's a cool idea. I plan on doing that. Do the same thing for Dragon Age toward the end of the game. No, I'm really excited for that now. Maybe I'll just do that in general for BioWare games too, because like Jade Empire has a lot of cool little bits of lore that you find as you're running through it. It's not handled through a central codex in that game. I think they do a good job of like fitting the little bits of lore into the main story as well. Your character just in passing and be like, oh yeah, I could tell because you were redshifted. How does, I don't know if someone in chat knows, does Star Trek deal with the problem of relativity, and then if you were actually traveling as fast as you can travel in Star Trek, that you'd arrive at your destination later in time than the time you experienced? I think they hand wave it in Mass Effect. They say that there's like an anti-relativity field, Mass Effect field or something that's around the ships, but when you hop into Mass Relay you don't arrive 100 years in the future or your future. I feel like that's like a necessary thing to hand wave in most spacefaring fiction, unless if you were going super realistic and gritty. Or doing like a Planet of the Apes kind of story.
Vasir, these damaged pipes are on fire. They're blocking... Got it. Should be clear now.
Good. I'm on my way down.
Warp fields? Okay. I guess they're basically doing the same thing with Mass Effect then, aren't they? They're like, oh yeah, Mass Effect anti-relativity fields.
Now you see me.
Yeah, that's one of my problems with Star Trek. Like I said, it's very optimistic, which is cool most of the time. And then they do the hand-wavy thing a lot. Which I feel they do it in Mass Effect, but only in instances where they absolutely have to, like the relativity thing. Like, you couldn't make an interesting story if everybody was jumping ahead hundreds of years every time they traveled around. Yeah. The only thing that's kind of woo-woo-y in Mass Effect, I find, is the Asari mind melding.
We can use this.
They use that in a way that's kind of pseudo-mystical, and I don't know if I like it so much. But just about everything else seems pretty reasonable within the context of the rules they've created in the game universe. Oh, interesting, Cloud Reaver. I didn't realize that was the explanation for how FTL travel works. I think that Mass Effect, it's like when you go through a mass relay, the way the relay works is that you're entering a corridor of zero mass space and you become zero mass. So it's not that you're traveling, it's that you're literally appearing at the other end in an instant. It's almost like teleportation.
No sign of that data Liara talked about.
So that still doesn't explain like conventional FTL travel.
Did you find your friend's body?
You mean this body?
Yeah, Cloud Reaver. Making me grind my teeth.
Liara, this is Vasir. She's a Spectre.
This is the woman who tried to kill me.
You've had a rough day, so I'll let that slide. Why don't you put that gun down?
I saw you. I doubled back after I left. I watched you break into my apartment.
You didn't know where Liara went because she hid the message. You needed me to find it for you.
Thanks for the help.
Once she had my location, she signaled the Shadow Broker's forces. They bombed the building to take me out. She found Sakat, took his data, and killed him. I'm guessing she's still got the disc on her.
Good guess. Not that you'll ever see what's on it. You pure blood bitch!
Yeah, sorry, don't like purebloods. Which is interesting. That's such a cool flavored take. It's a common thread in fiction, right? Whenever you have races that can interbreed, half-elves versus elves. And the idea that the pureblood ones are the ones that are looked down upon is, I think, exceedingly clever. The explanation for it is that the Asari can obtain genetic material from virtually any race, and that adds something, you know, it improves their diversity. But if Asari mates with Asari, then they're adding nothing, nothing is gained. It subverts a trope, is why I like it. I feel like trope subversion for trope subversion's sake isn't always fun, but when you do it in a way that's also cool and makes sense, like with the Asari, then I'm a big fan. I guess that's the challenge, is do it in a way that makes sense. Yeah, I agree. Not all tropes need to be subverted. An example... Oh god, we're up to that challenge of not spoiling stuff. There is a character in Game of Thrones who appears to be dead, but the books have spent many chapters dealing with this character. So people think they can't really be dead because of all the time that's been invested, right? And subverting the trope would be, no, they're really dead. Sorry, all that was a waste of time. But I feel like that would be a bad thing, and I think everybody agrees that would be uninteresting writing. But would it be? I don't know. That might be an example of a trope that, like, no, there's all this investment, there hasn't been any payoff, there hasn't been a change or an arc that's occurred. Making the character not be dead just for the sake of not having them be dead would be a waste. I bring up Game of Thrones because Song of Ice and Fire is well known for its trope subversion. Right, Nulu. The story of Game of Thrones is like... This isn't a spoiler, this is like what happens before the first book. Like, there's this great legendary hero, and he's born, and he's gonna save the day, and then he dies. What happens after that? Or you could look at it as like, there's a mean king, the Mad King, and this hero comes and gathers his friends, and they kill the king, and now he's taking over, and he's gonna rule in his place. But instead of like the story being, you know, overthrowing the Mad King, it's like, can that person who overthrew the Mad King really rule? Does being a good conqueror make you a good ruler? Probably not. But therein lies the trope subversion. I think the way that Martin has described it is like, you know, it's just taken for granted that Aragorn at the end of Lord of the Rings is going to be a good ruler. It's like, what makes him a good ruler? Tolkien writes in like 2 sentences, you know, and then Aragorn was king for this many years and he was a good ruler. But he doesn't explain what happened, what kind of problems he had to deal with. Cover. Right, Cloud Reaver?
Now you see me.
You think it's just coin flip? Lulu?
That had to hurt.
I think a lot of, I mean, it's tough. With the show, it feels like coin flip in a lot of cases. I feel like it feels predictable. I don't know, how do I put this? When a key character dies, I don't think it's yet felt like, oh, that was just a waste. Like, it usually happens at a point in their arc where they've satisfied everything they needed to do in their arc, and it makes sense. Like, keeping them living doesn't really make sense at this point. They're not adding anything anymore. Alright. I don't know if I want to be inside of Gurm's beard. And it's just a locked door for the sake of there being a locked door. Cool.
I'm fine, by the way. Thanks for asking.
We flipped a coin and we took Kasumi. That's clever. So the game doesn't have a way to only let you select one squad mate. You think about this, right? Like, when it says pick a squad mate, it either skips that screen entirely and sends you on a solo mission, or it makes you pick 2. So they needed to solve for that. Like, how do we develop a new screen that only has you pick one squad mate for this mission? And instead of doing that, they have you pick 2, and then they have an option at the end that replaces somebody. So I wonder if that whole little mission with Liara's apartment would have even occurred if they didn't have to solve for that problem, if we wanted to be Liara plus one other person. See you, Kami. Safe travels.
There she is.
This is a cool little side mission.
Hang a right. No, wait, left.
I'm on her.
This has a very Fifth Element feel to it, I think.
She's around the corner. We're not going into the construction site, are? Oh, goddess. I'm not letting her escape with that data. Go, 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 go!
I'm going!
Traffic! Oncoming
Urban
traffic!
Dallas multipass.
We'll be fine.
She's dropping proximity charges.
I noticed.
She's got reinforcements!
What kind of guns does this thing have?
It's a taxi. It has a fare meter.
Wonderful.
Truck!
I know.
Truck!
I know! There we go.
You're enjoying this.
The banter between Liara and Shepard in this is pretty great.
A head-on collision at this speed.
Yeah, I hear those payback.
Are you crazy? You don't go between them. Go between them? Are you crazy?
Again?
I said go around. You said go between them. We get it? We'll see. Right, Cloudweaver? I could hear that in them. I mean, it is... I think the popularity of Game of Thrones reflects viewer frustration with the character shield trope that's everywhere. That certain characters have a shield, there is no danger, there's no lethality.
I've crashed on Azure. Get me some damn
Important characters live forever. Children often have a character shield. Like a movie that dares to kill a child, usually will get an R rating automatically, regardless of whether it made sense in the plot.
Watch out. They're dropping
Yeah, plot armor.
Enjoy the ride.
So Liara has Singularity, I think. You might have some other. You might actually be able to level her up in this. You can't like bring her with you after this mission, but she gets Stasis, which is vastly improved over its version in the original. Thought that was cool. Reduce the recharge time. I can't max it out, can I? I did that in the wrong order. That's okay. Use Stasis instead. Right, Cloud Reaver.
Agent down.
I'm not like advocating for like the killing of children in every movie, but it's an example. You know, when you're watching a movie like Aliens, you should be tense for a lot of the film. But like when the child character is on screen, you're less tense because you have this feeling, whether it's justified or not, that the child character has a character shield and will be safe. It doesn't necessarily mean that the child character will be safe in a movie like Aliens, but you see it so frequently that, you know, if the character ends up surviving, then your feeling of a lack of tension is justified. Yeah. Sometimes plot armor makes sense. Like a key feature of Mass Effect 2, and this is like a back of the box kind of a thing, is the, so it's not a spoiler, is the final mission is the suicide mission, where it's possible that your entire crew can die, right, if you handle it incorrectly. The game lets you play it perfectly, where if you make all the correct decisions, every single person can live. And I wonder if it would have been more interesting if they had set it up so you had to make choices. Like, they had these little cutscenes. I think Senfo has been in chat before and said they did some cuts, but it used to be that you had to pick between Jacob and Thane. You had to pick between Jack and Miranda, Tali and a character we haven't recruited yet, Garrus and... forget who Garrus opposed. Garrus might not have opposed anyone. The last one was Morden and Grunt, which makes sense with Morden's genophage research. It would have been cool if that was a mandatory decision. You couldn't possibly be so good that you could get both of them on your side. You know, then each playthrough would have been really different because it would have been like, okay, what half of the characters did you let live? You were forced to make this hard decision. And people would have been pissed off and been like, oh man, why did you make me pick? Like, I wanted to have both of them. But it may have felt more impactful if it was forced. This is coming from someone too who's delighted that I can have everyone because I like all the characters and wouldn't want to pick any one over the other one, and would have been pissed off if I was forced to. Especially some of those combinations, like Grunt versus Morden. It's like I feel like I have to pick Morden But I really like Grunt. Yeah, the chest high walls thing is that's a gaming abstraction more so than a narrative trope, right? Like, they need to have a field for combat to occur. They need to allow the player to interact with the environment in a predictable way. If you think in your mind's eye of like what happened in the story when Shepard went to break into the Shadow Broker compound, like, you can imagine that there weren't literally chest-high walls everywhere, but that she hit around, you know, the sides of walls or like debris or cans or things like that in order to progress through the level. Like, health regeneration is another one that they explain it in this game as coming from Shepard's implant, since you didn't really have automatic regeneration in Mass Effect 1, but it's a useful gaming point. That what it essentially does, being able to regenerate between battles, means that the game is about handling combat on an encounter by encounter basis, whereas requiring you to use med packs or find healing kits or things like that, it makes the game more long term. Or if you make a lot of mistakes in an early encounter, it can punish you in a later encounter. But I think that like shooters have evolved to get rid of med packs and go with regenerating health because it feels more interesting when it's on an encounter-by-encounter basis.
What kind of hotel is this?
Azure. It's a luxury resort with an exotic edge. Azure is slang for a part of the Asari body in some areas of Ilium.
Where?
Mainly the lower reaches, near the bottom.
I meant, where on the Asari body?
So did I.
Clever.
Hey, we're unarmed. Didn't see anything.
Lots of clever dialogue in this mission. Mostly riffing between Shepard and Liara. They do that with Liara, Tali, and Garrus very well. The characters who kind of hold over more from Mass Effect 1, and Rex for that matter. They have this level of assumed, what's the word? Familiarity. It's not the word I was looking for, but basically that.
She's
Rapport.
Tough,
there we go.
That much.
She's a Spectre.
How does Ratchet and Clank handle it? I've never played those titles. Shepard. Shepard. Oops. I think there may have been something else I could have found behind me, but that's okay. That's pretty cool. Health globes can be pretty smart too. An infinite potion like what Diablo has now is pretty smart. With a cooldown. See you, D-Rock. Thanks for hanging out.
Hey! Hey you! Come here. What's your name?
Mariana.
Mariana, you want to live, don't you? Tell those people that you want to live.
Please.
We'll get you out of here safely, Mariana.
Well, that's good to hear. All you had to do was walk away. Now it gets ugly.
Please, I have a son.
A son? I hope he gets to see you again. I've heard losing a parent is just horrific for children. Scars them for life.
I'm going to end you, Vasir.
It's okay, Liara. We'll handle it. The usual way.
You want Mariana's little boy to grow up without a mommy, Shepard? Thermal clips on the ground now. Power cells too.
Is that it?
What?
Vasir, I sacrificed hundreds of human lives to save the Destiny Ascension. I unleashed the Rachni on the galaxy. So for your sake, I hope your escape plan doesn't hinge on me hesitating to shoot a damn hostage.
You're bluffing.
Now, Liara.
Nice. We got 2 references to decisions from Mass Effect 1 in there. And it was still a Paragon option.
They've seen us.
This is a really cool fight. This is like the only boss fight in the game against what is essentially a Vanguard. So she does the biotic charge around the place. This might be one of the best designed boss fights in like the Mass Effect series. It feels like a boss. A lot of them are like, okay, it's just like a regular enemy. Especially in Mass Effect 2. It has more shields than another enemy. God.
This should slow them down.
It's using charm. So it's using your words to trick her. I think the intent was I'm going to save the hostage. Why do I still have the flamethrower? Why? Oh god, I just died. Try it again. Barrier doesn't, I don't think. Not when enemies have them. They last a lot longer. I think I picked up the flamethrower on a Zaid mission and like it just automatically replaced whatever I was using. Might work on a Vanguard playthrough, but that's about all I can think when you want to use it. And try using it on her and just get really close. Live with it, you know.
Watch out, shockwave.
By the time I get to her,
Watch out, shockwave.
get her Kasumi. No, that's pretty cool, Mega Man. I like that way of handling it, where it's a mix of basically health pickups and getting health for killing enemies. Sounds like a reasonable solution.
Back in a bit. Heavy weapons.
Multi-phase boss fight too. Rocket drones. Make it hard to take cover effectively. For hard to take cover effectively.
They're using combat drones. Cloaking.
Cool, there's one.
Enjoy them. They're using a drone.
She's got clips with her. She comes back in.
Can you keep up?
She can just charge right at you. It's pretty nice.
Going dark.
Try using the heavy weapon again, see how we do. This must be how annoying it is to play against a Vanguard. Or like be an enemy when you're playing as a Vanguard, because this is what you essentially do: is you charge around the map. The carrier out. We're about to get another rocket drone here in a second. I think you just flashbang grenaded it. Another one over there. I'm gonna wait for Adrenaline Rush to come back here.
This should slow it down.
Hey, you think that would have sold out really fast? Mega Man. Okay, see ya. Hey, Randompers, how you doing? Good to see you.
I'll finish you myself.
I think that we can clear her armor a little bit faster than we clear her barrier. Let's see.
Going dark.
Ow.
Watch out, shockwave.
Change weapons. I'm on it.
Didn't mean to have that weapon out. Report it again.
Stay back, shockwave.
I think we want to use, there's like a rock, paper, scissors relationship between weapons and defenses in this game. Like, rapid fire weapons do shields better, slow fire weapons do armor better, so we want to use the sniper rifle. Since she's done her armor. I think slow fire is pretty good on health as well. And now that we've removed her defenses, Liara can toss her around. Singularity. That was a really robust boss fight. You're a robust boss fight. As far as Mass Effect goes. Come on. Here we go. GG.
Oh, damn it! Damn it!
Schedule update. We got another 2 hours of Mass Effect 2. We're gonna finish Lair the Shadow Broker, and if we have any time left, we're gonna do Garrus' loyalty mission and clean up any remaining little side quests.
Has been in power for decades. He's stronger than anything you've ever faced.
Is that why you sold out the council to work for him?
You think I betrayed the council? Like Saren? Go to hell. The broker's given me damn good intel over the years. Intel that saved lives and kept the Citadel safe. So if the broker needs a few people to disappear, I'll pay that price without hesitation.
Spectres don't blow up buildings filled with innocent people.
Sure we do. We get our hands dirty so the council doesn't have to.
The counselors might complain about our methods to soothe their consciences, but they never look too closely.
Besides, you're with Cerberus. You have any idea what your terrorist friends have done?
That's awesome, Cloud Reaper. That's the only time you can actually knock her back, I guess.
I know who they are and what they've done. It doesn't matter.
I think it does. You want to judge me? Look in the mirror. Kidnapping kids for biotic death camps? Killing Alliance admirals who ask questions. And you're with them. Don't you dare judge me. Don't.
Kidnapping kids is a reference to the second book.
Sony and retrieve the data. Civilian casualties not a concern.
Vasir's dead.
I'm putting the data through to the Normandy's computers. We can be at the Shadow Broker's base in a few hours. He'll know about Vasir before long. If he decides to kill Farron.
We'll get Farron out of there alive, Liara. I promise.
I know. You're here to help. Just like always.
That's not a good thing?
When we first met on Therum, you saved me from the Geth. You fought a Krogan battlemaster while I cowered. Now you're doing it again. And I'm still leaning on you for help.
That's what friends do, Liara.
I can get us there based on Sakat's data. The Normandy's stealth drive will keep them from detecting us. The Shadow Broker's agents are still shooting their way through Ilium. With luck, they won't notice we've left until it's too late.
That's a little cold. They killed innocent people.
You know what I mean.
Do I? When I hit the ground back at the trade center, you went after Vasir without a backward look.
A little fall wasn't going to kill you. I had to stay on Vasir. I had to stay rational, make the call, like I did with Sakat.
That's Vasir's fault, not yours.
Sakat had no idea what the stakes were. I put him in harm's way to get the data I needed. I got him killed. And I'd do it again. But from here on out, things will be simple. Get in, get Farron, get out. And kill anyone who tries to stop us.
That's it?
Dig her new armor.
We just stop for a second? We'll be jumping several light years. There's time to talk.
About what?
You haven't been the same since I came back, Liara.
What do you want me to say, Shepard? That I mourned you? That I feel guilty because Farron got captured? I made mistakes. I lost people. I helped get you back. And I want to do the same for Farron. I'll sit and talk once he's safe. Until then, enjoying the scenery is an insult to the man who saved both of us.
Okay, let's go.
It's a little more intense if you romance Liara in Mass Effect 1. Stream has voted to romance no one in Mass Effect 1 and 2. I'll put that vote out a third time in Mass Effect 3 if people want to change their minds. Well, the second vote there was a tie, so I could use Garrus this time. I thought maybe you were going to get to keep her in your party at the end. Okay, let's not use the Firestorm. Let's use probably the Particle. Well, the Arc Projector is pretty good at doing what I'm bad at. The Particle Beam is good across the board and lasts for a long time. I don't know if there's thoughts on what the best possible heavy weapon is to use. Welcome back, Mega Man. Oh man, I want some pizza. Oh man, I'm excited to read the codex about this ship that we're going to when we do Codex Day. It's kind of cool the way it's set up. No, random? Yes. I did Liara, Tali, and then 3 would be a spoiler.
Then snap freeze 10 minutes after sundown.
The Shadow Broker lives in this?
His ship follows the sunset, completely undetectable in the storm, unless you know where to look.
How do we get inside?
The shuttle bay is locked down. We'll need to land on the ship and hunt for a hatch. But we can't stay outside for long. There's a constant lightning storm where the hot and cold air collide.
Graphics are really good there. It's basically this ship that's floating in the atmosphere of a gas giant, I think. It's either a gas giant or it's like a Venus-like planet.
This lightning, but I'm picking up signals from a communications array near the back of the ship.
Oh, I like pineapple too. It's just whenever I hear someone get pineapple on their pizza, I think of that scene.
Maintenance drones. Why are they attacking?
That's cool. So that wasn't a difficult fight, but it was just kind of there for flavor.
Change weapons.
You like spicy sweet, Mega Man? Oh, that's so cool. I kind of want to just read the codex now. No, I'll wait. We're going to do one day after the suicide mission, but before the final, like, DLC. That's just an hour of codex. And my commentary on it, because it's my favorite part of the Mass Effect series. Really, Mega Man? Wow. I'm the exact opposite.
Thanks for the tip.
Ammo power's dropping. It's cool, it happens for no reason. What's that, Cloud Reaver? Really, spiciness makes you nauseous. Man, I don't know if I could live in your world. I love spicy food. So my wife, Andrea, she hates spicy food. And like the new ghost pepper griller from Taco Bell, I let her take a bite of it and she liked it so much she got her own one. So that gives you an idea of how not spicy it is. Like it's really, really good, but like, oh my god, that's so dangerous that my wife, who thinks that ranch dressing is hot, like, is fine with eating their ghost pepper griller. I feel like someone's gonna burst an eye vessel if they go to Taco Bell like, oh yeah, I can handle ghost pepper. Let me get this salsa. Nulu, they're really good, aren't they? They just came out like 2 weeks ago. One of our regular viewers on stream, Burner, works at Taco Bell, so he gave me a heads up about it a few weeks ago. I make a regular trip to Taco Bell. Well, actually, Andrea does. She goes to Jazzercise on Wednesday nights and like gets Jazzercise canceling Taco Bell after the fact. Did I hit my own allies? I know, right, Nulu? I get excited for it every time. Tasting masterpiece is comfortable spicy.
Headshot! One less to worry about.
Whoa, whoa, Nulu, are chicken flatbreads back? You gotta be kidding me. Don't do this to me. I used to live in Columbus, Ohio, which is like one of the few test beds for fast food companies to like try out their products before they deploy them nationwide. So it was a double-edged sword. Like we get these really cool products early and get them for like 6 months, and then they take them away, and you never know if they'd actually come back. It's like we got popcorn chicken maybe 3 years ahead of time, and then they actually deployed it nationwide. Okay, no. Oh, they were so good. They were like 80 cents. I was going to Taco Bell all the time when they had them. Yeah, exactly, Random. You know, you get the ghost pepper grillers, which are nothing like actual ghost pepper, but they're tasty. I agree, Kami. There's a Futurama bit about that where Hermes is eating this hot sauce that like burns through the table, burns through the ground, burns through hell, and like burns the robot devil. Hermes is like, a little bit more spicy. Yes! Yes, Nulu! Oh man, Nulu, we're friends forever. We've already gotten along pretty well on our thoughts and feelings on games and things, but like, that was exactly my feeling on those chicken flatbreads. You spent $1 and it was completely worth it. It was the best like filling to dollar ratio. So sad. Sad days, distant past. So, what you did, inside joke that I like to share with people. You Stephen Colbert's Americone dreamed me. my friend Kat and I, around the time there's a Ben & Jerry's flavor called Stephen Colbert's Americone Dream. It's like a waffle cone, like ice cream flavor. And it had just been announced, and my friend Kat and I went to a grocery store, and we were looking at the ice cream aisle. Neither of us had talked about this ice cream flavor before, so neither of us knew that we were both excited for it and looking for it in the aisle. So I'm looking in the aisle, and I'm looking around, and I just say out loud, as though it's stating my intent to find it, I say, Stephen Colbert's Americone Dream. And Kat like spins around and looks at me. His eyes are wide with excitement. He's like, "What? Do you see it somewhere?" I was like, "Shit," because I hadn't actually seen it. You know, I was hoping that by saying it out loud, he would see it. And indeed, they didn't have it. So I Stephen Colbert's Americone dreamed him. I made him think, from what I was saying, that they had this product that they didn't actually have. It was a way to say you got someone excited in error.
Okay, looking down was clearly a mistake.
Yeah, KFC relabeled their popcorn chicken popcorn nuggets. Like they don't use chicken in any of the advertising for it. Whatever it is, though, it's pretty good. Yeah, if you have a Taco Bell next to you, you should go get their Ghost Pepper Grillers. I want to make sure they stay on the menu indefinitely, unlike the Rest in Pieces, Farewell chicken flatbread sandwiches. God, the design of this area is so awesome. Clouds in the distance. It's usually one of the best looking areas in all of Mass Effect 2.
I wonder what happened to the contractors.
Navigating the storm is brutal. If the ship's engines motion dampers, I bet you can't even hear the storm.
I guess I was planning to explain the inside joke to begin with, Kami, but I'll just avoid it in the future. Oh, really, McMahon? I have a fear of heights, but I can, I think I'm in the same boat. I can do it fine on a roller coaster for some reason, because I have this implicit trust in the roller coaster. Yeah, I started with the intent of telling the story, but I guess I could do it in reverse order or not tell the story in the future. It's definitely a you have had to have been there thing. I say it to Andrea all the time, though, when she gets me excited for something that's no longer there. Love this. This whole DLC mission is really good. I'm excited. I never actually played through Leviathan in Mass Effect 3. And I never played through the Citadel DLC, which I think is it's no combat. It's just like a say goodbye to your squad mates kind of a thing. I've heard it's really, really good. So that'll be a blind playthrough on stream. Probably I'll have to download them. But someone on stream mentioned that they were surprised that Leviathan wasn't part of the core game. I know that the Leviathan DLC deals with the origin of the Reapers, which I don't know, maybe it's handled well, but I've said before on stream, I feel like the Reapers are intended to be this like cosmic horror, and like going too deep into defining them, giving them an origin, describing their motivation. Like, if they're supposed to be this thing that's beyond human comprehension, trying to put them within human comprehension, no matter how well written, will always fail. The best thing you can do is just avoid even attempting. Oh man, you gotta go to Cedar Point. Best coaster park in the world. This is the consensus opinion of many people. My personal opinion as well, having only been to like 6 coaster parks across the United States only. Oh, nice, random. Do you know what the brand is? Popcorn chicken is just like tiny chicken tenders. Ouch. Teensy tiny chicken tenders. You're a tiny chicken tender.
Marks have LOS. Enemy! Blocking LOS.
Random, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah, it's... The Reapers are basically space robot Cthulhu. So, like, don't try. Just don't. Just... Cthulhu works because it is defined by H.P. Lovecraft as being unknowable. That's what's so horrific. Oh, cool, Mega Man. I went to Disney World when I was too young to remember the experience. The only thing I remember was this ride called Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I think they've shut down. It was the ride where you like during it you crash into a train, die, and go to hell. I can see why they closed it.
Friendly fire!
Right, random. I do remember Space Mountain. That's the indoor coaster, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, awesome, Kami. I went to Epcot at a bad time, like, I was too young to appreciate it. I feel like it would be my favorite place if I were to go back today. Epcot was originally planned as what was essentially like a commune. It was supposed to be a planned community. You can Google it. There's a Wikipedia article that talks about Disney's plans for it. It was a really cool idea, though. Yeah, Epcot is adult Disney, exactly. Hop by Magic Kingdom and get talk to Gaston. Or Darth Vader now, apparently. There's this thing that was posted on Reddit a couple years ago. Did you see the video of the little girl who, like, she joins, they do this, like, Star Wars show where there's these Jedis fighting Darth Vader. And Darth Vader shows up and the little girl goes and, like, tries to kneel to Vader to become his apprentice. That's some really proud parents. Ah, nice, Nulu. Yeah, I guess I should go back, because I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 when I went to Epcot, so I don't remember enough of it. The stuff I do remember, I feel like if I had gone there as an adult, I would appreciate it more. Maybe I'll have an excuse to revisit Disney when we have kids.
Hang on, I've got a bypass shunt program that can crack it.
How long will it take?
I don't know, Shepard. I've never broken into the Shadow Broker's base before. Well, not this one anyway.
Nice. Little throwaway line.
Then stay down.
Sure.
It's illegal even on Ilium. It didn't come with a warranty.
But you tested it, right?
Here come more of them.
Tell me you tested it.
No time to talk.
More great Shepard Liara banter. Yeah, I can hear that. Mega Man. The reason I'm such a big fan of Cedar Point is that it's like very well constructed rides. Your fear from being on the coaster has nothing to do with the quality of the construction of the ride, so to speak. So, like, I'm sure you've all been on like wooden rickety roller coasters where you're like, part of your fear is you're actually just worried that the thing's gonna fall apart while you're on it. This one, it's just that you're thrilled rather than afraid because of how quickly you're moving, but you have perfect trust in the engineering quality. It's very smooth.
Liara,
I'm sure it won't be much longer.
remember the old days when you could just slap Omnigel?
Get it?
That security upgrade made a lot of people unhappy.
So that was, they were kind of poking fun at themselves in Mass Effect 1. Just about everything you ran into, you could do the little Simon Says puzzle to break into it, or you could just rub some Omnigel on it. It's kind of funny that they're willing to poke fun at themselves and fit that into the game lore. That, yeah, they upgraded the security. Dueling Dragons? That sounds cool.
Watch that.
I could talk all day about Cedar Point. I don't think anyone else has been there. I think Cloud Reaver. Do you need y'all to not die? Y'all are dying way more than I'd like. This is Mass Effect 2, Mr. Shrek, and that's correct.
Enjoy the ride.
Singularity's fun in this dungeon.
We've been spotted.
Sends them flying into the winds. Scratch one! Two off on that. Although Garrus is really good at dealing with the rocket charges.
Scope dead drop!
Their attacks are disorganized. They'd be more effective if they all attacked.
Please don't give the mercs that.
Neutralize the drone.
Lots of hanging a lampshade on the game design in this mission.
Enemy bionics on the field.
It's hard to hold your aim. Oh, that's Liara. Sorry, Liara. Can't tell these Asari biotics apart.
Charging bionics.
It's really hard to aim the sniper rifle, which makes sense. Shouldn't be easy in these high winds. Schedule update, we're going to be playing Mass Effect 2 for another 90 minutes. And we'll sign off. It's not on the schedule right now, but we will be playing Dragon Age Inquisition tomorrow. Continuing the blind playthrough that my wife and I are doing together, so we both on stream and take turns with the controller. That should be around 11 a.m., between 11 and 12 Pacific tomorrow. If you're sensitive to it, when my wife is on stream, it's a decidedly less PG-13 experience. She swears like a sailor. Just fair warning. Exactly. What type of sailor? Swears like a pirate. I like swears as like a sailor. I just stuck around as an idiom because of the alliteration.
There, the hatch is open.
Right. Oh yeah, random? What's that? Good chance we're going to have time for Garrus' loyalty mission today.
You've been spotted.
Hold your positions no matter the cost.
Hey, they gave me all my ammo back. That's helpful. The other Shadow Broker is pretty long, though. It's broken into like 4 distinct parts. Look at disco balls in the game. That's funny. You're welcome to post the link if you have it. Good looking out, Kami. Thank you. Whoa. I'm not gonna live through this. Try adrenaline rushing and then running.
Enemies incoming.
Very likely to be dead. Thank you, Garrus, for moving out of the way. Appreciate that. The only one that's here? Yes. The new feature. Lets you get behind them and flank them, I guess, which is cool. Ouch. No ammo power. Wouldn't a disco ball make sense at a rave, though? Not saying whether there actually are disco balls at raves, but a big mirror ball that sends lights everywhere. Seems pretty natural.
Look at the energy flowing through those cables.
Rave is the only, like, kind of sort of pun you could make with it, isn't it? You could go Disco Age Inquisition. That's just a plain words.
Agent down.
What's up, Shadow Broker agents? Look that they gave them new models. Like most of the other DLCs and stuff in this game rely on existing enemy models. I think they probably put the most work into this one out of any of the DLCs in this game. Maybe the Firewalker level, since the Hammerhead is a new control style.
Enemy combat drones.
From like an art direction perspective. Lasers through fog. Cool. Gotta have giant spiders. They're freaky, man. They're like spiders, but big. Hey, there's Farron. Surprised they didn't just like kill him. The way I think about this puzzle, there are like two that are very similar to each other. These two at the end. It's harder for me to remember which is which. Hey Topher, how you been? Good to see you.
Farron.
Liara?
Hold on. We're getting you out of here.
You should totally read the comic book that this DLC is inspired by, or that set up this DLC. Appreciate Farron some more.
Farron.
What the hell is the broker trying to do to you?
The equipment is sensitive to tampering. This chair plugs into the broker's info network. You have to shut off the power. Pull me out now and my brain cooks.
Do you know where we can cut the power?
It won't be easy. You'll have to go to Central Operations.
What's the point of this cage?
I don't...
It's a neural grounding rod. The medical equipment is to make sure he doesn't expire. We have to.
That's probably a good way to describe it, Nulu. Like, you can go to the work of making a custom monster and maybe draw some inspiration, but yeah, you see a giant spider, you're like, whoa!
Where did the broker get the mercs?
Giant X, really. Giant snakes.
Shepard, we really don't have the time.
You don't see, like, a tiny goat as a monster in JRPGs enough. You should use tiny as a prefix more often to inspire creation of enemies.
What do you know about the broker?
He did this to me.
I was hoping you'd know what he is.
I never got a good look, but he's big. The guards are terrified of him.
A Krogan?
I don't know, but not everyone who visits his office comes back out.
Easy or not, we're all getting out of here.
Good. Central Operations is down the hall. You know the Shadow Broker's waiting for you, right?
I'm counting on it.
We'll be back for you, Farron.
I'll try not to go anywhere.
I want all teams to outpost C.
Tiny goat mage. That's what I'm talking about. I saw him throw the flashbang grenade and got out of the way. They added that in the Kasumi DLC. There's quite a bit of effort in the Kasumi DLC too. It uses standard mercs, but it has a cool like heist theme to it. Punch you to death. Like how they make it clear when combat is done in this game by using musical cues and whether or not your squad mates stand up on their own. It's not necessary in every game. Like there's a Silent Hill remake that sort of suffers from completely separating the combat and exploration sequences, but I think it works for Mass Effect. They do a good job with it in BioShock Infinite as well. You always know if it's safe to just kind of roll around and look at things. Kasumi DLC is really fun. Is Kasumi a valid character to send for the first suicide mission thing? Without spoiling what it is. There used to only be 2 characters that were valid to send.
Here for the drill. Reckless, even for you, Commander.
That bombing on Ilium wasn't exactly subtle.
Extreme, but necessary.
No, it wasn't. Neither was caging Farron for 2 years.
Dr. Tassoni, your interference caused all this. Farron betrayed me when he handed you Shepard's body. The Drell is simply paying the price.
So, the race of the Shadow Broker is a new one, which is kind of a cool idea. Like, I feel like it would have been disappointing if they had done just about anything else. It's already kind of disappointing that they collapsed the who is the Shadow Broker wave function, no matter what decision they went with it. But it's this cool new race that we'll read about when we do Codex Day. That it's sort of like the Krogan, but they avoided uplifting them, because if they did uplift them, it would be a big problem. This one got off its homeworld in some way. They refer to them a couple times in Mass Effect 3.
It was a mutually beneficial partnership. Your arrival is convenient. The Collector's offer still stands.
Be smart. Let Farron walk out with us.
You won't be walking out at all.
You're quite confident for someone with nowhere left to hide.
You travel with fascinating companions, Doctor. It's good you brought Archangel to Sony. Your friend's bounty is still unclaimed.
You're not putting a hand on anyone.
It's pointless to challenge me, Asari. I know your every secret.
Custom dialogue based on your party member.
Is that right? You're a Yogg, a pre-spaceflight species quarantined to their homeworld from massacring the Council's first contact teams. This base is older than your planet's discovery, which probably means you killed the original Shadow Broker 60 years ago, then took over. I'm guessing you were taken from your world by a trophy hunter who wanted a slave. Or a pet. How am I doing?
Thanks for the flavor injection there, Mass Effect 2. I was laughing about this during Jade Empire the other day, that like just BioWare's style, they won't hesitate to throw some flavor and history at you in the middle of a urgent conversation. This is also a very cool boss fight. This is a really well done DLC. What game is that, Darkstar? These guys are being similar to...
The shield's kinetically sensitive. Energy and projectiles are bouncing off.
Then we do this the hard way.
Punch him to death. Luckily they make you actually go in and punch it. Nice, Darkstar. Did it disable Garrus? I guess so. Cool, so he has this cool like energy shield now that you have to work around. It just blocks all incoming damage. Whoa, breaking my cover. Yeah, I think sub-block is a great way to handle playing games like that that wouldn't really warrant a full playthrough, but people would like to just show off. Ah! Adrenaline Rush is kind of like a heal in that you take way less damage while it's in place, so it gives you time for your shields to regenerate. This comes up in the books a bit when they're talking about the flavor of kinetic shields, that like it's set up to only block things moving at a certain velocity so that you can sit down without knocking back your chair.
If you can get him to bring up that shield again, I've got an idea. Here they come.
They could have easily made this fight be about a bunch of ads you have to deal with it, but making it a single target, like the Sorry Spectre fight, is clever. I feel like single target boss fights aren't really Mass Effect's strong point, which makes it all the more impressive that they got them to work really well in this and the Sorry Spectre boss. This is particularly in comparison to like the Saren boss fight in Mass Effect 1. There we go. Shepard can do this because she's a super cyber. Poor Garrus. Glad you're back, buddy. How is that related to, like, the original Bubsy 3D, Darkstar?
Shadow Broker, this is Operative Murat. We've had a momentary connection failure. Can you confirm status?
I don't know if they address antimatter at all in Mass Effect and, like, codexes.
This is the Shadow Broker. The situation is under control. We experienced a power fluctuation while upgrading hardware. It disrupted communications momentarily.
We are now back online. Resume standard procedures.
I want a status report on all operations within the Nexus Zone day.
Shadow Broker.
Part of this song is the end run, which plays during the suicide mission.
It's you. You... How?
Well, everyone who's ever seen him in person is dead, so...
You're the new Shadow Broker.
Is taking over as the Shadow Broker really a good idea?
It was either that or lose everything. His contacts, his trading sources, those will really help us. With the Shadow Broker's information network, I can...
Bring back Vigil.
I can give you...
Key songs from Mass Effect 1.
I'll check the power systems.
It's over. It's finally... For 2 years.
It's all right.
I spent 2 years mourning you and Farron. And now I've got you both back. Let's see what we've got.
I feel like this was their plan with Liara in the beginning of Mass Effect 2, but probably not Mass Effect 1.
Restrictions. It's like he never anticipated anyone but himself being here. And it's all ours.
What kind of information are we talking about?
I'm not sure. I'll need to go through his files. Come back later and I'll try to have something useful for you. All I wanted was to rescue Farron, but is it wrong that part of me wants this? With the Shadow Broker's network, I can help you. Maybe I can turn this operation into something better.
Thanks, Liara. Let me know when you have something.
I will. And feel free to come by. I've got a feeling the Shadow Broker didn't have many visitors.
I feel like you can do this DLC mission pretty early in the game and revisit a few times. Just some cool flavor things you can get here. So we finished with an hour and 10 minutes to spare. I'm going to go ahead and do Garrus's loyalty mission and then some of the remaining side quests to bring us to 6 o'clock. And I think that the next time we play Mass Effect, we'll probably beat it. So it'll be next week, Thursday or Friday. After Mass Effect 2, I'll schedule some time to do a codex read-through of all the codex entries in Mass Effect 2, including anything we carried over from Mass Effect 1. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to schedule that separate from our normal blocks. So it'll be like after 6 o'clock one day, we'll do 6 until we get through all the codex entries. And then we'll transition right after that into Mass Effect 3. I'm going to be right back. Right, random? Yeah, that was a little, like I said, when you create a big mystery, it's kind of hard to resolve it in a way that's ultimately satisfying. They addressed this in the Sherlock series.
Shepard, it's so good to see you. I've set up a few terminals with information I think you'll find interesting. Take a look.
The first episode of the most recent season resolves a cliffhanger from the previous season, and the way it resolves it is it says, here are 3 ways it could have happened, but we're not going to pick one because we do it will be dissatisfying to you.
What's this?
That's the old broker's VI assistant. It's actually been helpful with rebuilding the network.
Please let me know if I can organize any...
That's correct, Megman. Next week Friday is Zelda.
It also thinks anyone in the room is the broker. I'll play around with the
Mass Effect is usually a Thursday, Friday affair, though. That's what I mean. It's a little glyph. Alright, I'm going to be right back. Yes, Ocarina of Time 3DS Master Quest, I'm back. Enjoying the Master Quest a lot so far. It's my first time playing it. When you say the Fire Temple, you mean the Dodongo Cave or the like Adult Link Fire Temple Dauber? This is cool. This is some extra flavor for different characters, so I'll go ahead and read through them. Miranda, Cerberus officer, efficient, ruthless, obsessed with human dominance. Possible recruitment candidate after Elusive Man's assassination. So these are like the previous Shadow Broker's plans. Morden Solus, professor previously attached to Solaria and STG. Impressive credentials and modifications of genophage re-established 99.9% death rate among Krogan births. Current work with Shepard, obvious atonement attempt. Jacob, ex-Alliance soldier, biotic training despite solid service history, clearly placed on Shepard's team primarily for stabilizing elements of personality. Yeah, so there's some interesting insights into different characters, and as you recruit more characters, depending on how early you do the DLC, you can come back here and read more of this. Jack, abnormal biotic powers, archived combat footage compares favorably with Praga facility's expected results. Easily manipulated through emotional impairment caused by severe abuse and confinement. Zaid, Blue Suns founder, lost leadership of Suns through Jack, or rather through lack of interpersonal skills and political judgment. High mission success rate even after near-death experience. That's when he got shot in the face. He's completed several missions offered by agents involved with the Shadow Broker. Garrus, former CSEC officer, exceptional tactical and team-building skills, leadership potential overshadowed by Shepard. Unlikely to fully develop under Shepard's command. That's sad. Tali, mechanic and engineer, typical Quarian investment in species future instead of personal advancement. Father's work useful in widening tensions between Geth and Quarian races. Interesting. Kasumi, skilled break and enter specialist, sentimental impulsive risk taker, investigate lover's death in connection to Alliance scandal. Thane, Drell assassin, achieved top ranks in Hanar training programs, responsible for 1 hour massacre on Omega. It's like, what does that mean? That sounds so cool. Advanced Keppel syndrome makes neutralization a low priority. Ah, cool Dauber. I like the all the cows and stuff in the Jabu Jabu version of Master Quest, or Master Quest version of Jabu Jabu. Yeah, we beat Jabu Jabu yesterday. Had a lot of fun with it. So we'll be starting from Adult Links. We'll do the Forest Temple and probably get to the Fire Temple. It'll be 6 hours of Zelda next Friday. Okir's Vatbred prototype. Threat to continuation of genophage likely minimal, but leak knowledge and location of perfect Krogan or Solarian STG. Okay. To try to get him killed. Cerberus. Rogue agency for the advancement of humanity founded in 2157, active in both the Citadel and Terminus space. Strong human supremacist overtones. Classified as a terrorist threat. Loss of credits due to the Elusive Man's direct interference and recovery of Commander Shepard's body has been offset by data gathered from the Lazarus Project. Hold retaliation until Shepard's long-term functionality is confirmed 1 year post-resurrection. Interesting. So technically the Shadow Broker briefly held Shepard's body. It's part of the comic book that's a precursor to the Shadow Broker DLC. Captain Bailey, survivor of Reaper attack on the Citadel, prefers dealing with secure words criminal element off the record. Ample blackmail material. Arya Talok, de facto leader of Omega, 3 centuries of commando experience, aloof, paranoid, excellent organizational and management skills. She's voiced by Carrie-Anne Moss, who is the actress who played Trinity in The Matrix. Yeah. Yeah, we did 3 dungeons today, but they're the 3 easiest dungeons, or yesterday, but they're the easiest dungeons in Zelda, so. Captain David Anderson is a rejected Spectre candidate. That's part of the first book. Close working relationship with Commander Shepard before the destruction of the Normandy. Monitor communications for renewed contact. Stephen Hackett, who's voiced by, what's his name? Lance Henriksen. He played Bishop in the Aliens movie. Commanding officer of the Alliance Navy's 5th Fleet. Worked with Commander Shepard before destruction of the Normandy. Deep cover operative is scheduled to replace his current aide in 2 months. Ooh. Shadow Broker, classified. Cool. No, we got a ways to go on Mass Effect 2. This is the end of a DLC mission. Let's actually do... who do we pick in error? Kasumi. I think before this DLC, you weren't able to redo your squad mate's powers, only Shepard's. Don't really need to do any of these right now, do we? Sniper headshot damage would be nice, since we use that a lot. Yeah, I probably won't do hero because Master Quest isn't like this is harder. It's more like this is different. I guess some of the dungeon design, like Deku Tree, was actually a lot harder than I was expecting. Lead you to planets where you can get lots of resources if you still needed some at this point in the game. Uh-oh. I think my character just got stuck in this table. Yeah, I can't move from here. See if there's another way for me to get off of the lab here. I guess I could just load my save. I didn't really do anything. The hero mode just makes everything do a ton of damage, right? It's been a while. Oh, well, that's a convenient autosave location. I was gonna have to redo at least something. Look at how those pay off. It might be over time while you're playing the game. Already read the dossiers. You get shipments over time.
How are you doing, Liara?
I'm a bit overwhelmed, to be honest. The Shadow Broker had more resources than you can imagine. Here.
That's pretty crazy, Dauber.
He had top-level access to the Turian and Asari governments. And more than one Solarian Dalatros traded intel. And now it's ours.
You're not gonna turn into a recluse with creepy information on everyone in the galaxy, are you?
And they're hard in the NES version.
One
One of the hardest enemies in the game.
I've got all the secrets of the galaxy at my fingertips. Give me 10 minutes and I could start a war. But I've got a purpose. Helping you stop the Reapers. That will keep me honest. You know, relatively speaking.
Have you found anything useful yet?
The Shadow Broker knew about the Reapers. Perhaps that's why he offered to help prove Saren's guilt to the Council.
He didn't want Saren to succeed.
Right. Mega Man.
He also knew that the Collectors were Protheans, repurposed to be Harbinger's puppets. There's even some data on the Protheans. I think he knew what was coming and was looking for a way to survive.
How'd you know what the Shadow Broker was?
I didn't. I had no idea what to expect when we finally found him. But I researched pre-spaceflight cultures during some of my Prothean studies. I know a bit about the Yogg. There's more on the terminals if you want to look. They're a fascinating culture. And
Wow, Dauber. So it sounds like it's pretty much a don't get hit playthrough if you do it on hero mode.
Why was he still looking at Protheans? They gave us the warning in the conduit at Ilos, but we've used those.
The Shadow Broker seemed to think there was more out there. Perhaps the Protheans had other plans. Or maybe he was just grasping at anything that offered some hope.
That's suspicious.
How's Farron doing?
As well as you'd expect, after 2 years of intermittent torture.
He gonna be okay?
I don't know. He wants to work, so I'm letting him help. Maybe it takes his mind off it.
So, you and Farron?
No. He's been through a traumatic ordeal. He's emotionally fragile and needs to heal. He's very grateful to me for saving him. But it would be irresponsible
Seems
for me to
interesting.
take advantage
Might be
of
fun
that.
for me to play when I'm like bringing my DS with me on trips, but I don't know if I do that on
I
stream.
think what I need right now is a friend.
We do Link Between
I can't
Worlds at
be
least the
for
first
too
time. It'll
long,
just be normal
but
mode.
spending all my time on this ship. Maybe next time you come by, I could come up to the Normandy.
Sounds good. Next time I come down, it's a date.
I'm looking forward to it.
I don't think I meant to date Liara there, but I won't actually follow up on that.
Shepard, glad you stopped by. We don't get many visitors.
Take it easy. You've been through a lot.
It's easy to accidentally hit on somebody in Mass
You're
Effect.
probably right.
Especially Mass Effect 3.
I never did say thanks for the rescue.
Liara never gave up on you, Farron. I just helped.
I'm still amazed Liara came for me. I'll never forget what either of you did.
I can log that in the archives for you, sir.
I see you met the secretary.
Talking the room with the big 3D where you're really high up in the sky and there's like lava all the way at the bottom and you need to fall from platform to platform, Mega Man. I think I died there too.
How you holding up, Farron?
I'll be alright. I wasn't always strapped into that interrogation chair. Drell can mentally escape into old memories. It came in handy on the bad days.
What will you do now that you're a free man?
I want to help Liara rebuild this place. But after that...
Your schedule's getting full, sir. Let me sync it to your Omni tool.
No thanks.
I like the color scheme on this guy. He looks like a specific kind of lizard species. His name is not coming to me. You look like a specific kind of lizard
Cerberus
species.
headhunted me and Liara to steal your body from the Shadow Broker. I was working for the broker at the time, and he's the one who scraped up your remains in the first place.
Yeah, I remember that part very well, Mega Man. We'll see if we do it on stream successfully. I think when Andrea did it, she did it on her first try, and I was like, oh, I can't believe you. What is this? It's not fair. Video archive.
What does this console do?
This is the video surveillance access point. I've queued up the archive footage you requested on your last visit, Shadow Broker. Remember, you can zoom in for more detailed viewing and can pause anytime during playback.
Cool.
Aria Talok, Omega.
Huh. Some of these are really cool if I remember correctly.
Emily Wong. Citadel.
Emily Wong is the reporter from the first game.
Fred Mazai. Citadel. Donnell Udina. Citadel.
Udina, huh? Looks like a Cerberus guy.
Armando Bailey. Citadel.
I like how there's no audible dialogue in these, so you just have to kind of figure it out from what's on screen.
David Anderson. Citadel.
Ooh, that guy's definitely with Cerberus. What are they hinting at here?
Praetor Gavon. Omega.
Archangel, sure.
Talisa bint Sinan Al-Jilani.
Is the Krogan gonna punch her? Nice.
Keeper 20. Citadel.
That's interesting. the Keeper kill it? And this just, it raises all kinds of cool little questions without actually stating anything about the game universe. This is a very good show don't tell sequence.
Matriarch Itheta, Ilium.
Hey, welcome home. I'll let them know that we're playing Dragon Age tomorrow. You still want to do that?
Yes.
Cool. Ooh, this is important. So this is the bartender on Ilium who is looking at a picture of Liara. So what this tells us, Liara doesn't know who her father is. She knows that her mother is Matriarch Benezia from the first game, and it turns out that the bartender whose father is a Krogan, and who mentions having a purebred relationship with another Asari, is her dad. And you only get that from this DLC. It was theorized among people on the Bioware forums for a while. It's kind of cool.
Erdnot Torsk, Tachanka.
God.
Elias Kellum, Omega.
Shadowbroker DLC?
Yeah.
Quite the Shadowbroker yet?
Jacob
Yeah.
Taylor, Normandy SR2.
Yes. Jacob doing sit-ups. Yep.
Subject 0, Purgatory. Ship now
No
defunct.
kidding. Oh, we didn't get to see this. That's cool. Wonder if that was a trimmed or cut cutscene, because we just walked into that room and everything was destroyed.
Aria Talok,
Now we're back to where we were. Okay. Those are pretty cool. Thought they did a really good job with that. Check for more videos on your next visit. Okay. Really like Shepard's brisk pace. She's not running, she's kind of...
Like her hustle?
She's got hustle, there you go. You knew what I was getting at.
Bitch, I understand you.
So we're doing Garrus' loyalty mission and maybe cleaning up a few more side quests. And then we're going to call it sign off.
All that in 50 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, like, Garrus' loyalty mission is very short.
No messages for you, Commander.
You go back and read that planet description here in a second. This is where the Shadowbroker base was. So I was incorrect about it being a gas giant. Second-tier garden world receives little attention from the galactic community. A Solarian mining expedition discovered the planet, which promptly strong-armed away from them by organized crime figures. Though it has a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere capable of supporting life, its rotational period is slower than Earth's, making its day and night 88 days long. The intense heat on one side of the planet and the extreme cold on the other make for violent storm cells wherever the sun is rising or setting. So that's why the storms are so crazy.
Long warm days for napping. Long cool nights for...
But that's what the crazy thing about the Shadowbroker ship is, it hides in the storm cell by like always being sure to face the same part of the star, so it's always in the storm area. Very clever. Tiny world. Huh. Painted onto the metal in a Solarian dialect with the word self-serve. So it's helium-3 refueling. They tried to make an effort to make a helium-3 gas giant interesting. A lot of those are just say that, hey, you go here for helium-3. It doesn't really say anything else. Sloth cat. Ben basically lives to sleep
And eat.
and eat.
Like, he would forego all sleeping if it meant he
You think so? You think eating is more important to him?
Yes.
Good save, PlayStation controller.
Hey, hourglass.
Yeah. Cool nebula. I think Garrus's loyalty mission is on the Citadel, I want to say. Help Garrus, yeah. Really like their handling of the Citadel in this. I think Matt was pointing out that he likes the Citadel best in Mass Effect 2. I think I agree. I miss having the Presidium. But again, it's the whole, like, Mass Effect 1 is the Paragon game, Mass Effect 2 is the Renegade game. Council, or Council Space versus Terminus Systems. Presidium versus Wards. Bye, Ben.
Guess who was the only mentor at the end of the summer intern picnic today where they all got awards? Who was the only mentor there without her student being there as well?
Your student didn't show up?
Nope.
Why not?
I have no idea. I haven't heard whatever excuse he's gonna give me. Yeah, I emailed him and said, hey, I have your certificate, because when they called, like, both of our names, there was this weird silence, and because I wasn't paying attention, I stood up, I'm like, well, I'm here. So I walked up, I grabbed both of the certificates, took my picture with Chi Chang, the director, and went and sat back down. And
When she says mentor, she has an undergrad student at the lab she works at that's coming in for like a summer thing. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what excuse it's going to be this time.
Okay.
His brother's puppy, throwing out his bath, locked himself out when he went to take a shower, didn't bring his cell phone so he forgot what time it was.
Dog ate his homework.
Dog ate his homework.
Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
That's all right, although maybe something really came up, because his family does live in the area.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you guys are going to Vegas too? Is that part of your trip to Disneyland in California, Megman? Very different taste in music. Andrea and I have similar tastes in music, or at least nothing she listens to irks me that I can think of.
Because we are never, ever, ever getting back together.
She just likes to... Yeah.
But we are never, ever, ever, ever getting back together.
Okay, I guess that's one of them, but... Oh man. Volus hype.
Fade? You're not quite how I imagined you.
Looks can be deceiving. So...
You understand, Kami.
Well, it's easy because he always talks in absolutes like a freaking Sith.
I'd rather see you make someone reappear.
Yeah, because, oh man, I like all music Andrea listens
That's
to.
not the service we provide.
Very easy.
Make an exception. Just this once.
Damn it.
Well, it'll be a nice time to be in Vegas because it won't be so hot. Super hot now.
How far away is Vegas from you, Mega Man? You're in Arizona, right? Can't be that bad. No, she's aware of that. She was making a joke about the only a Sith deals in absolutes comment. Yeah. It's one of those like
only Sith deal in absolute. I said Dylan deals in absolute like a Sith. Therefore, unlike George Lucas, I didn't have hypocrisy.
Oh, you're in Vegas, Nulu? Right on. I watched a cool CGP Grey video recently that was showing that what we call Vegas is actually a town called Paradise. It's like an unincorporated place, and Vegas is technically like a couple miles away. That's not too bad.
I still maintain, I purposefully did not say only cis deal in absolutes because I'm aware of the
Yeah.
hypocrisy of that statement.
Uh-huh. Looks like we're doing yes.
Don't point that. I know that. I know. I chose my words carefully.
Why do I?
Oh yeah, Nulu. Have you seen the video that I'm talking about? I had no idea about this whole thing.
We're looking for someone. A client of yours.
Not mine. I'm not Fade. I just work for him. Sort of.
I knew it.
Well, then maybe you'd like to tell us where to find him.
Yes, of course. He's in the factory district. Works out of the old prefab foundry.
I know
Paradise
the
is
place.
interesting, so it's like, what can we do if
He's
we
got
have
a lot of mercs there. Blue Suns. Harkin thinks they're protecting him.
Harkin, man, that goes all the way back to Mass Effect 1. He was the guy that gave us information, and he was the drunk in the bar that tried to hit on Shepard.
How the hell did Harkin end up being the Fade?
Well, he got fired from CSEC a while back. He used his knowledge of CSEC and their systems to help a few people disappear. Then he made himself disappear, and Fade was born, so to speak.
Interesting. But it changes nothing. We still need to find him before we can get
They're
to
in the
Seagal's.
Mass Effect 3 DLC, apparently.
Well, let's go pay Harkin a visit.
We'll need to go to the transit station. I can get us to
There is
him
some
from there.
combat in this, I think.
So
Are
I
there
can
some
go?
multiplayer stuff in Mass Effect 3 where you can play as a
Sure,
Volus?
but if we don't find Harkin, we'll
That's
be
what I
back
heard.
here.
I haven't actually played as that. I quit the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer around the time that came out. Oh, good.
I'll play as an L-Core.
Yeah, I agree, Nulu. CGP Grey is like one of my favorite. That and Every Frame of Painting are my favorite YouTube channels. Elcor could work. You could be like a mobile tank. They mentioned that in the codex entry for Elcor in Mass Effect 3. Kami. No, I have all the DLC on the Xbox version. I got it when I had my 360 originally. I didn't have a gaming PC. So since all the DLC is here, it makes more sense than buying it all again for PC just to play on stream.
Right, Garrus and Rex.
Grunt.
I decided they're the same.
Well, you know that's wrong. You know that would make Rex sad.
Rex seemed to be down with that.
Yeah, but if you thought of Grunt as being exactly the same. They do kind of have a badger look to them, don't they?
Badger, badger, badger.
There he is.
Shepard?
Pure Oompa Loompa.
Don't just stand there. Stop it.
I need something round.
Bronco, Lonka, Dunkity,
Run all you
Darn
want, Harkin. We'll find you.
Smart of them to bring Harkin back. I mean, I've talked about this before about the problem of the little universe, where like if everyone from the first game keeps having to be reconnected in the second one, it makes your universe feel small. But it's a trade-off because like, you know, you can keep bringing back characters from the first game and make them involved in everything, and you feel a greater connection to each of them. Star Wars has this problem, and I hope that they're going to deal with it smartly in Star Wars Episode 7. Like, everyone doesn't need to be related to Luke and Leia and Han Solo. Like, you could just have totally brand new characters that have nothing to do with them at all. And it seems like that's the direction they're going, which is wise.
try not to get too excited for that movie.
Engaging
I'm so
In case it
It's too late. My heart's already pre-broken. In case it's bad, because I'm so hyped for it. And it's bad. I should have learned my lesson. I was hyped for the prequels too. And then I was a kid. I didn't know what it meant to be sad yet. Bedroom. You guys got it. Very good. I'm glad y'all are on board. Mushroom. Yeah, I agree, Kami. That's the small galaxy problem. But I get it. Like I said, you're like, oh, Harkin. Like, you know, why create a new character to be Fade when they could bring back someone from the first one that reasonably could have been there? It's definitely a slider, not a switch. There are benefits and drawbacks to doing it either way. You can just take the game at its word that it's a big universe. I don't know if they originally wrote the Asari bartender on Ilium to be Liara's father, but it became a pretty dominant fan theory on the forums, and that's another example where they could have just said, no, her, you know, doesn't need to be a character that we've introduced. Like, what are the chances of you randomly bumping into her father? But they canonized it with the Shadow Broker DLC. Cool. Really? Didn't know that about the Turians. Harkin is the guy who hits on you in the Citadel bar, Mass Effect 1. He's Fade, so he has information about this guy who sold out Garrus when he was Archangel on Omega. Basically, his job is making people disappear.
Open fire!
So he knows what new identity he gave to the person who sold out Garrus. Garrus wants to get revenge on him. We'll be putting that to a stream vote when we get to it. Actually, I'll go ahead and set that up here in a second. Next time there's a dialogue. The decision is pretty obvious from the beginning. Like, do we let Garrus deal with the guy who betrayed him, just like execute him, or do we intervene? Do it a different way. What? It's not the first time that's happened to me. I even finished doing it. I try again? No, I'm just screwed. It's too bad. I think it's just credits, so it's not the end of the world. I even checked. Oh well. Some credits I won't get.
I need cover! Look out! Oh.
Cat hype in. I don't know why they're being so. Well, it's because you have ice cream and they're trying to eat ice cream. That makes sense. I was like, I need to get an auto feeder. I gotta give him wet food though. to contract with their prior owners. I guess they wouldn't know, but...
What class are you?
A soldier, actually. We started as a Vanguard in Mass Effect 1, but Stream voted to switch to soldier in Mass Effect 2. Which is interesting, I guess, if you're describing like what happened behind the scenes when Shepard died and was brought back by Cerberus. She must have lost her biotic powers. So the big thing that Soldier has is that adrenaline rush that makes time slow down. And everybody talk in a silly voice, it slows down there. Too late. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm taking friendly fire.
Don't walk in front of my bullets. You guys using the right weapons or you're not? Are you surprised? I feel like they just default to the wrong weapon every time. You gonna blow up? So that would be really nice. No, I hit the wrong spot. Oh well. If you could finish them off with a headshot, they do like a nuclear explosion. Thank you. I see, I know combat's over because the combat music chilled out, and Grunta's back up. Smart. Really well done in some of Bioshock Infinite. Like, I like how in that game it plays like intense music if a battle is going on, so you know if it's safe to just explore around. I don't know if you also appreciated that feature when you played it, Andrea.
I knew it was over because you got the violin.
Yep. Then you could chill for a sec and just enjoy the atmosphere. Not worried about crazy Patriot robots attacking you.
What the hell is
You will a Blinken.
Yeah. Started as Vanguard, switched to Soldier. Goes in a sec. I feel like there's usually like a unique reward in here.
You're not still on mute, are you?
No. I think random was just AFK.
So Harkin's finally gone completely bad.
He was always a pain in the ass, but I'm in no mood for his games. If he doesn't cooperate, I'll beat him within an inch of his life.
You seem to be getting tense, Garrus.
Harkin may know why Sidonis wanted to disappear. If so, he knows why we're here, and I don't want him tipping Sidonis off.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd play Soldier again if I had full control of the class I was playing as. It's been kind of fun so far, but I like having biotics or tech powers.
He's getting ready for us.
What are you gonna do to Harkin if he won't cooperate?
He's a real criminal now, working for the Blue Suns. I should just shoot him on sight. But I need him alive, so I won't do any permanent damage. Just enough to loosen his tongue.
You don't need to hurt him to get what you want.
Don't worry, Harkin's a coward. He'll talk long before I can really hurt him.
Alright, so I just put out a vote. Should we intervene with Garrus? Vote 1, let him do what he wants. Vote 2, intervene, push Garrus to be a paragon. You can spend additional sphere points if you really want to push it one direction or the other. This will also involve any interaction we have with Harkin coming up.
You still planning to kill Sidonis when we find him?
That's the plan. It'll be quick and painless. Unlike everyone he betrayed, he'll be spared the agony of a slow death. It's more than he deserves, but as long as he's dead.
There's actually some pretty good scenes from Renegade Garrus. I did this all Paragon when I played through it. When I watched Andrea's playthrough, it was pretty cool.
Garrus, do you really think killing Sidonis will make things right?
I know you don't like it, Shepard, but I have to do this.
Is there no other way?
Maybe, but this is personal. I'll pull the trigger and I'll live with the consequences. All I'm asking is that you help me find him.
Well, there's one way to find out.
Right behind you.
I'll leave the poll up until we actually make the decisions relevant to it. I think Harkin's gonna get a dose of Renegade, though.
This looks interesting.
Sniper rifle damage, there we go.
Shepard, I have patched into the warehouse scanners. The crates in the transport carriers overhead are rigged to explode when dropped.
Good to know.
Seems like an interesting way to rig them. Maybe that's from Harkin.
Shields have failed.
Take cover to regain health. Thanks, game. That's my first time getting that pop-up. Habitat. Correct. Paragon Garrus is putting him away. Letting him go and accepting it. Oh, I'm probably gonna get hit and lose this. We'll try it though. Yes, you are, Grunt. Got it, random.
Oh, crap. Too heavy, Mech.
Here we go. You did, actually. Kind of often get to fight two of them at once. Ow. That's really bad. Might blow up the other one and take it with it. It's right next to him. It did, look at that. Took a free cane. Awesome. Paragarrus versus Renegarrus. No, Paragon Garrus doesn't kill him at all. Thanks, Harkin. This is just like a mild inconvenience what you've done here. Scoped and dropped. Scratch one. Cloud Reaver, do you have a vote in either direction? I think it might not actually matter at this point. It's 3 votes for Renegade. So I'll interact in that way. He looks like Louis C.K.
close, but not close enough.
Try again. Wait, what happened to Garrus? Oh.
So, Fade. Couldn't make yourself disappear. Huh?
Garrus is the one who caught him. There's something weird with the game. Didn't load in his sprite.
What do you need?
Or model.
I'm looking for someone.
Well, I guess we both have something the other one wants.
Right in the buns. Wrong answer.
We're not here to ask favors, Harkin.
You don't say.
You helped a friend of mine disappear. I need to find him.
I might need a little more information than that.
His name was Sidonis. Turian came from the...
I know who he is, and I'm not telling you squat.
Harkin, this doesn't have to be hard.
Screw you. I don't give out client information. It's bad for business.
You know what else is bad for business? A broken neck.
All right.
He has Ninja Turtle feet.
Terminus really changed you, huh, Garrus?
No, but Sidonis opened my eyes. Now arrange a meeting.
It's one of those examples, or I'll talk about it when the dialogue stops in a sec. Hold on.
Yeah, it's me. There's a chance your identity may be compromised. That's why I'm calling. I'm sending an agent. Where do you want to meet? All right, he'll be there. Don't worry, I got it covered. It's all good. He wants to meet you in front of Orbital Lounge, middle of the day. So, if our business is done, I'll be going.
I don't think so. You're a criminal now, Harkin.
So what? You're just gonna kill me? That's not your style, Garrus.
Kill you? No. But I don't mind slowing you down a little.
Voted to let him do it.
Maybe give CC the blood trail a follow.
Bastard!
Did you really need to do that, Garrus?
He'll survive, and maybe he'll think twice before he tries something like this again.
CSEC won't let that happen, and you know it.
Lucky for you, CSEC has some of the best doctors on the Citadel.
Yeah, me too, Cloud Reaver.
Screw you, Garrus.
They're like bird people, kind
Come on,
of.
let's move.
Like dinosaur bird
Sidonis
people.
better be there, or I'm coming back to finish the job.
Alright, Sean. Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, there are a couple plot points. They decided not to split the game and make like two games, one for the people who made Paragon decisions and one for the people who made Renegade decisions. So sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it stretches a little bit. So if you had started Mass Effect 1 and you had influenced Garrus to be a Renegade, and you come into Mass Effect 2 where he's automatically Renegade-y, like you'd have been like, oh man, they must have done this just for me. It's not until after you beat the game and see what they did for the Paragon version that it's basically the same events with some slightly shifted dialogue that you would realize something was off. That happens a couple times. The most egregious example is in Mass Effect 3. I'll point it out when we get to it. There's a mission involving Grunt that is the same no matter what decisions you've made. They make like a tiny little nod pointing in one direction. But if you don't know that and you made the Paragon decision, it feels like a big deal. Anyway, back to the game.
Harkin's a bloody menace. We shouldn't have just let him go. He deserved to be punished.
Getting a little worried about you, Garrus. You were pretty hard on Harkin.
You don't think he deserved it?
This is not like you.
What do you want from me, Shepard? What would you do if someone betrayed you?
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't let it change me.
I would have said the same thing before it happened to me.
It's not too late. You don't have to go through with this.
Who's going to bring Sidonis to justice if I don't? Nobody else knows what he's done. Nobody else cares. I don't see any other options.
Well, Stream has voted to go with the Renegade option, so I will progress from there.
I won't mention it again.
I appreciate that. I need to set up. I can get a clear shot from over there.
What do you need me to do?
Keep him talking and don't get in my way. I'll let you know when he's in my sights. Give me a signal so I know you're ready, and I'll take the shot. You better go. You'll be here soon.
Doo-doo-doo, I'm Grunt hanging out. Just chilling in the backseat. Seems like that's a nasty place to get shot.
Shepard, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. There he is. Wave him over and keep him talking.
Hey girl, hey.
Let's get this over with.
You're in my shot. Move to the side.
This won't take long at all.
You one of Harkin's men? I don't remember seeing you before.
That's it. Just keep him talking a few more seconds.
I was told Harkin was one of the best. This better not happen again.
Oh, it won't. Don't worry.
What? Shit.
Betrayal repaid, Sidonis.
Right, Pigman.
That was easy enough.
Clean and simple. Good work.
Thanks for helping me, Shepard. Let's get moving. I need to get away from this place.
He's up on a balcony and wasn't expecting it.
Right with you.
Again, probably some kind of gaming abstraction. Oh no way, did they change the scene? Oh man, y'all made a mistake by voting Renegade. We'll see if they show it here. We might get the scene anyway. No way. Is the Citadel scene where you bro out with Garrus, is that only if you make the Paragon decision? You guys know what I'm talking about? Oh, it's too bad. I'll have to find a link so you guys can see it. Oh man, is that Mass Effect 3, Cloud Reaver? Talking about the scene where you're like, you're shooting cans. I could have sworn that was in this one. Okay. Hey D-Rock, how you doing? I'm less disappointed then. It's a really cool scene. Okay, this is the post-suicide mission. Oh, we still have to do the Reaper IFF and some... So yeah, we're not going to be done with this game as early as I thought. I'll still do... Probably not next week Thursday, but maybe the following week we'll do that Codex session I was talking about. Let's see. Disable the infected production line. Okay. Okay, cool, Cloud Reaver.
I have
detected an anomaly.
This is the end of the quest chain with the renegade bots, little droids. We'll do this one, and then when it wraps up, we'll sign off.
Probe launched. Scans have found something.
Now he's loyal. I wonder why that meshed together in my head. I don't think they can level up any higher. I might have to redistribute if I want him to have 4 points in concussive shot. I do, because I have the warp ammo on Shepard. PC? Tower, I guess? This is everybody now. Everybody's loyal. Except for the character that we haven't unlocked yet. We'll be doing that next week Thursday, I think, because this is going to be the last side quest we had to do. So next week Thursday will be the Reaper IFF mission. The other character, maybe his loyalty mission, depending on how much time we have remaining. Netbook? Netbooks are the little super tiny notebooks for a while. Yeah. I don't know if they still call them that, but like the Chromebook is a netbook technically. Oh, awesome. How'd that happen, D-Rock? That's super cool. Hey, this is Mass Effect 2. How you doing, Mu3? Chest high walls.
They've seen us.
Anyone shocked? Later, Megman. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time. Awesome, D-Rock. It's like those are good enough for like everything you conceivably want to do with a computer other than gaming. And even then, there are some games that they can handle. You can probably play Hearthstone on a netbook.
Rerouting power.
This should punch through their armor.
Maybe if it's a netbook, it's probably pretty weak in that area. You could certainly try. Oh yeah, Cloud Reaver.
Worthless.
The tight corridors, or right on, man. I didn't know you played Adept. Andrea's team Adept as well. He likes her singularities.
Have engaged. Backup systems engaged.
And use your weapons. There we go. You could try. You could probably put emulators on it, D-Rock. Streaming is CPU intensive. It doesn't use your GPU at all. But if it doesn't slow, like you can probably play like a Super Nintendo game. Try streaming it.
Lost shields.
Let me know if you give it a try and you need any help getting it set up. Happy to help. Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me that, Cloud Reaver, because I would have just chilled here and fought them forever if you didn't say that. I can see that getting you killed as an adept for sure. This is one of several missions like that, right? Like the very first one where you're on the alien planet and there's the endless wave if you're not moving forward. I think I died there twice on this playthrough. I see. Oh, can you change class in Mass Effect 3? Apparently I don't remember very much, but I only did one playthrough of 3. I watched Andrea do one, but it was at launch. I remember having a very stressful time because on launch day you couldn't transfer your Shepard over from the previous 2 games. Like the face wouldn't come over. And I guess EA didn't think this would be a problem. They're like, oh no, everyone's gonna like to use our new character creator. They'll just make a new face. Like, are you kidding me? No, I'm not gonna make a new face. I think they've since patched it, and there was a way around it where you could, like, you know, move your Xbox file to your PC and then extract the face data and recreate it manually. And they fixed it since then. There's just this fundamental misunderstanding about like what Mass Effect is all about. It's like, no, it's the whole reason is that I'm carrying over my character from the previous 2 games. Cool, D-Rock. Sounds good. I'll shoot you a follow while I'm thinking about it, D-Rock. Email notification if you go online. Ah, gotcha, Cloud Reaver. That must be what I forgot about. You can just change it, but they don't like try to explain it like they do in Mass Effect 2. Sure. Super Slug. Andrea pointed that out and I can't unsee it. Alright, let me save and let's talk about what's coming up. We're doing a special bonus stream tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be starting sometime between 11 o'clock and noon Pacific, so that's between 2 and 3 Eastern is when we'll start. Dragon Age Inquisition blind playthrough with my wife Andrea. Both of us will be on stream. We'll be taking turns with the controller. Not going to stream for a preset amount of time until Andrea gets tired or we get tired. So usually about 2 to 4 hours, depending on what we accomplish. So get hyped for that. As far as other games coming up for next week, I haven't blocked out the schedule yet, but I can tell you to expect Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, Metroid Prime 2, Final Fantasy X, Mass Effect 2, Final Fantasy IX, Terra Battle, Secret of Monkey Island, and Zelda Ocarina of Time 3DS Master Quest, which has been an absolute treat so far. If you haven't played the Master Quest before, I mean, you've played a lot of Ocarina of Time, you should tune in and check it out. It's pretty crazy, all the new stuff and changes to the dungeons they have. Yeah, so get hyped for that. Next week, Tuesday, from 12 to 3 Pacific, is going to be Subscriber Block Part 2. So we got through, we have 6 subscribers at the moment. We got to 3 of their games this week. Next week, we're going to do the other 3. We're going to be playing Phoenix Wright, Legend of Legaia, and Xenosaga. So if you're one of those folks who didn't get to see your game this past week, and you want to pop into the spreadsheet, I'll post the link again here in chat. There's a section there for you to add your preferred time, so you can say which of those 3 blocks, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, or 2 to 3, works best for you to be able to tune in and watch, and I'll do my best to cater to that. You know, if you're not going to be able to be there at all, you can just put in defer, and then I'll just fill in somebody else's game. I know that Kami's already subbed his out. I might talk to Broken One and AMA to see if they want to change their game or keep the same one they have on the schedule. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a good rest of your Friday and a good weekend. If we don't see you tomorrow, we'll see you on Monday. Later, everybody.